Good morning. So I wanted to share something with you guys. I have been catching a bunch of largemouth bass fishing, conventional gear, right up in the grass. I mean, on the bank, like 9 inches of water. Um, and I'm fishing with 5-inch swim baits. I just bought some 3.5-inch Zoom Fluke Juniors with the paddle tail. And I'm going to be using them as well. But basically, that's kind of the same thing. I'm throwing the Rapala Crush Cities, the 4 inches, and then some Storm 5-inch swim baits, soft plastic swim baits, paddle tail to give it an extra thump. Put a rattle in there if you want. But what I'm having trouble with is my swim bait hooks. The weighted hooks that I've got that are the right size, gap size, are too heavy. The weight's way too heavy. So what I'm doing, I jumped on here to show you guys how you can weight your own and basically customize how heavy or fast you want them to sink with lead wire. Now, if you're not a fly tyer and you don't have a vise, you can use I want to pop this off of here so it's not in my way. You could use forceps, you could use vice grips, basically anything. This is just the keeper, for the soft plastic. Shove that down in the head, and I'll put that back on. I actually like the screw ones better. And I'm not really sure. I think this is an owner hook, but it's one of my favorites. And then my others are some Eagle Claw extra wide gap worm hooks. These are 5/0. So on those 5-inch and 6-inch swim baits, you need a 5/0 hook. So the trouble with the 5/0 hook is the weighted, store-bought weighted 5/0 hooks, way too heavy. I need just a little bit of keel just to keep them swimming correctly so they're not turning over, so that they're swimming correctly. But I need it to sink very slowly or suspend. So by using this lead wire, this is 0.0205 or 0.025. This is actually lead-free wire, but lead wire will work. You can get this at the craft store. Fly tying supplies, Bass Pro's got it. Basically anywhere with fly tying supplies is going to have this. And then, like I said, you can even get it at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, any of the hobby stores. I'm not sure what people use this stuff for that aren't tying flies, but it's just lead wire. And you can get it in different sizes, different diameters. And so what I'm going to do with it is I take this thread. This is some fly tying thread. This is UTC 140, basically in white, just plain white. You could use 220, 240. You could use any kind of thread that you want. That is just to give something for the glue to hold on to and keep the wire from slipping. So there is 3 wraps. I'm going to count 13. There's 13 wraps of 025 lead. Now I use different color thread. I've ordered some different different color UV glue to coat this with so that I can keep track of in my box different weights. So these are going to be on the lighter side. I can give it a few more wraps of lead and get it, to bulk up a little bit if I need to give it a little more weight. But, not as much weight as what your store-bought stuff is going to give you. The trouble is you get a 5/0 hook because you're fishing a swim bait that's big enough, thick enough, fat enough that you have to have a 5/0 hook. It's got way too much weight on there. And then your only option is to do the 5/0 hook and no weight. But you got to have a little bit of weight, to help it keel, to help it swim right, and, slow fall. So this is cheap super glue, gel super glue. I got this from Dollar Tree. So in my fly tying, I use a lot of super glue, so I try to be as thrifty as I can so I can spend money elsewhere. 2 tubes, $1.25. This is the handle from a cheap model car paintbrush, but a toothpick would work, a Q-tip would work, anything that you can just smear this super glue down in between the wraps and then over your thread. So with this hook, because it's got the bait keeper on it and it's got a vertical eye, I don't have to thread this hook all the way through the bait like I would with this owner hook. So this one has got a horizontal eye. You see that? A horizontal eye and no bait keeper. So this one you have to sleeve it all the way through, through your soft plastic. So that is why I tend to stick with 020 and 025 diameter, so I can keep that slim, because when I have to pass this all the way through, the head of the bait, I don't rip a big hole. And then also you can use your gel super glue before you seat it when you're using standard, a worm or Texas rig style hooks. You can put a drop of super glue on there, and then when you pull it in there, it's going to hold it. A little bit better. Not as good as the bait keeper, coming off at the front. I'll even put a drop of super glue on this one, when I put it in there, and it stays a long time. So that would be done right there. That would work. You could do that with just super glue and coat it. I take it one step farther and coat mine with UV glue, just because I've got it and I think it looks better. One on top, one bead on bottom, and this is the thick UV glue. And then the same toothpick or Q-tip, whatever you've got, just spread this to coat evenly. And I keep wrapping it. So this is the thick UV, so it doesn't drain or it doesn't drip. And then your UV light. Flash that, seat it, get it hot. If your UV light's hot enough, boom, you're done. If it isn't hot enough, I'm going to show you a trick here. So if your UV light isn't super hot, it's going to leave that kind of tacky to the touch. Again, Dollar Tree. This is Dollar Tree's version of Hard as Nails. It's a clear fingernail top coat, fingernail polish top coat. Just paint that stuff over it. And once it dries, there you go. You're done. It's not tacky. And you can weight these whatever weight you want. You can take the heavy ones and add weight to them and make them heavier. Or you can do exactly what I'm doing and make them light and small and customized to what exactly it is that you're needing, whether it's something great big or something small. So with me, especially lately, it's been downsizing to use a hook that is big enough for the bait, but not having too much weight on the on the hook, too much weight to keep it sinking too fast. So to get a 5/0 hook in a gap that is going to work with the thick bodies, they just weigh too much. So that's why I'm here. So let's do one more. Actually, let's not. I'm at 9 minutes. So if you got questions, look me up on YouTube, look me up on Facebook. Find me, call me, message me, text me, whatever you need, and I'll help you out in any way that I can. So I'll be headed to the lake later. I've been catching them right up in the grass on Lake Conowal, on Purcell City Lake. I've actually had some really good days at Purcell City Lake, and then at Longmire. There's only a few places with good grass, is what I would like to consider good grass at Longmire, but it is a cool lake with a lot of cover. Thanks for watching and have a good day.